33 of 35. This is it. No more cautions.
That's a very good recovery for Duke as far into the grass as he went, for him to be able to recover, get back on track, and still be in second place.
Absolutely. Lucky coming up in fourth. This guy is coming off of a podium finish of last week. So a great run for him again tonight. It seems like his car is coming in for him more and more each race, so that's great for him. He is leading that second pack behind. Axe is just so close, putting on the pressure to Duke. We'll see if he can do anything and make it happen. But they're about to hit lap 34 of 35, so something needs to happen. They need to do it now. Sky right now is comfortable in where he is at. We're on the white flag. Sky just passed over that line, so this is the last lap. Can he do it? Is Duke going to mess up? Is Axe going to mess up?
Wow, look at how much ground they've gained.
He almost made a mistake, and he had to catch himself so hard it cost him a lot of time. He has to remain, he has to drive this perfectly the rest of the time. Otherwise, he's going to have some very hungry drivers all over him to make a move and get that win.
Here we go. Axe is chomping at the bit. He wants by Duke.
He is. This is the final time to try it. This is it, guys. Sky is coming around the turn here, around the oval part. He will be hitting that line, and he will be the winner here at Homestead Road Course. Sky is your winner.
Sky.
Homestead Road Course. Congratulations. So we'll see what happens. But 2 to go, guys. We're going on lap 33 of 35. This is it. No more cautions.
That's a very good recovery for Duke as far into the grass as he went, for him to be able to recover, get back on track, and still be in second place.
Absolutely. Lucky coming up in fourth. This guy is coming off of a podium finish of last week. So a great run for him again. All right, guys, welcome to tonight. We'll do a quick mic check, make sure everything is going good. Sounds like everything is fine, so let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 3, Race 9 at the Grand Prix of Sonoma. We have a few cars missing tonight, but it is going to be another great race. If you remember last week, we had very little cautions. One was a lag caution, so I wouldn't even count that, honestly. So a lot of tight racing, but tonight we're getting close to time, so let's bring in our driver interviews. Tonight, our driver spotlight is LuckyTron Racing with drivers Lucky 2115 in the number 21 car and NASCAR 24 Tron fan in the number 53 car. However, he cannot be here tonight, so he'll be missing out. Lucky is a veteran driver who is currently 10th in points with 46, and rookie NASCAR 24 Tron fan is 15th in points with 21. So a huge welcome to Lucky. And if you're ready, let's get started, Lucky.
Hey, whenever you are.
All right. You know how it is. This guy used to be my booth partner back for the Multi-Class League, so if you guys watched that, you should remember Lucky, so welcome back to the booth.
Thanks. Been a while since I've been up here.
It has. All right, first question. It's a simple one. How long have you been a member of SnB?
It dates back at least a year. I know I talked to a guy, I think the gamer tag was Dampus Duck or something like that. He suggested I look into the club, and I did, requested for an invite, got in, and eventually just kind of integrating myself into racing.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Now I'm the tech admin, if you will, of the Discord server, because I'm smart like that and technologically inclined. And I I do a lot of racing for my own league side of things and here as well, including IndyCar and.
That's very true. Just let you know too, your mic is cutting out bad.
I may sound better if I speak up.
Yes you do. Yes you do. All right, second question. If you could do a race over, which race would it be and why?
Does that have to pertain to IndyCar?
No. It can be any race.
Xfinity Series, last, let's see, it's been 2 seasons ago in NASCAR side of things, at Homestead. I was racing for a championship. I was one of the final 4 and just trying to keep up with my competition, and I ended up getting just a touch too close, and some contact happened in front of me, and it sent me spinning on my own with no consequence
caution.
other than I just lost a lot of positions, and there was no caution, and it killed my chances. If I could have that race back, that'd be definitely go get back.
I remember that race, and I felt really bad for you. So that would be a good one to start that over because, I mean, in NASCAR, you have a great strategy. So you absolutely dominated with that factor. You just always went in there, and not only that, but you had the speed too. So put those two together, and it's a dangerous combination. So I can see why you'd want to redo it.
Yeah, I'm a little mad. I'm a little mad Metallica's gotten away in the record number of wins in the league because after that Xfinity season I had, I was right up there within about like 2 wins holding the record, and now I got to claw my way back up.
You can do it. You can do it. All right, if you can have any job in racing, what would it be?
Believe it or not, I'd rather be one of the engineers in any form of motorsport, really.
Yeah.
As a computer science major in college, the technical side of things really intrigued me. I definitely would want to learn more about how like the ECUs and the stock cars affects their performance. I know there was a lot of talk about that when the ECU was first introduced in NASCAR's top tier series, Monster Energy series, and then man, some of the engineering feats that get done on the F1 side of things. I mean, it just baffles my mind how brilliant the teams are. No matter if it's Mercedes or Ferrari, or if it's one of your back markers like Williams, that just week in and week out, they find ways to just make incredible engineering feats on those F1 cars they have. So I think engineer would be definitely my most interesting position in motorsports.
I can totally picture you doing that just because you are very technical and you are very good with how the car works and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I can see you working that very well.
I'm the technology version of Skyland, pretty much.
It's so true. When you guys get together,
he knows all the mechanical and aerodynamics. I just know how to work it on a computer.
All right, for your next question, you are spotted at your favorite restaurant. What restaurant is it?
Ooh. I didn't think this one through.
Tough one, huh?
Probably, you know what? I don't do, anytime I take a trip, I'm like my dad. I don't do any sort of national chain restaurant. Yeah. So you would always find me in that hole-in-the-wall diner, and that is just local of whatever place I'm in at that time. So probably one of my favorites when I traveled out to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, capital of PA. I think it's called the Chrome Lounge or something like that. They have the best steaks I've ever had. Much better than anything you'd get out of a national chain.
Really?
Just small little diners and holes in the wall that you wouldn't think anything of are probably the place you'd find me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll eat a big chain when I can,
right,
when I need to, but I like my holes in the wall. and smaller style places and kind of exploring things if all else.
That's actually very cool. I try to do that also, so I can totally see that. All right, for your last question, what is your favorite type of racing?
Pretty much every form of motorsport. I would say currently I've been very intrigued with, and I was kind of mad I didn't get to see it, the V8 supercars. They just ran the Bathurst 1000. I really wanted to watch that race. Couldn't find any streams of it in the US. But most forms of motorsport intrigue me. The V8 supercars is probably the top of my list right now, just because those cars, not only are they just fun to drive in a simulator, like Forza 7 does its best to sim it, but those cars are so on edge, and you can kind of beat around and make contact with other people, but still race clean enough that it's an overall awesome experience. I would love to see them kind of emulate NASCAR a little bit, see what a V8 supercar could do on an oval, but the races they do on their courses over in Australia, Phillips Island and Bathurst specifically, it's just absolutely awesome to watch. And if anyone gets a chance out there, they should definitely go back and watch some V8 supercar highlights. Not only do they have the spectacular wrecks that you would see in stock cars or Indy cars, but they have a lot of close racing. I mean, a lot of close racing.
That's cool. That is very cool. Yeah, there's so many different kind of racing out there. I mean, it is hard to pick one. Each one of them, they just drive a certain way. Would you have been surprised if I would have said?
Would you have been surprised if I said American horse racing? Because, you know, I'm no betting man, but I might be able to score some money at the Kentucky Derby or the Belmont Stakes.
Oh, that is too funny.
Maybe even the Prix.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what? Okay, so I have gone to a couple of horse races, and they had one that had the same name.
People
as
have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up very close to the horse tracks in Kentucky, so we used to go there quite a bit. And there was a horse named after my great grandmother, and so I bet on this horse, and it had like very, very low odds, like terrible odds. This horse freaking won it, and so I was like 9 years old or something. Didn't you? Oh heck yeah! I won like $200 to $300 or something when I was like 9. That just made my day. It was insane.
Why'd you give it up? You should have kept going. Ride the hot streak.
Oh jeez, I was only 9.
I would not get too deep into sports betting. I'm not gonna get addicted to that sort of thing.
Heck yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so that is it for our driver interview tonight with Lucky. As I said before, he was in the booth with me for the multi-class, and it was a lot of fun being there with him. And now he is back in the driver's seat for the IndyCar League. So a lot of luck to you tonight, Lucky. And
thank you very much. Watch out for the not number 21 car. I run just pre-made schemes I find on the store. Right now I'm in I want to say Simon Pagino highlighter yellow car.
We will have to take a look. Let's take a look out here. Yeah, he's sporting that yellow car. Can't wait to see it out there tonight. And good luck to you tonight. We now have 49er in the booth. I want to give a quick shout out to Half Baked. Thank you so much for the follow. Preston, this is a league race, so we cannot have anybody join in tonight. We do have a fill-in. Aries will be filling in, and let me see about if we have a modder in the house. He will probably be another fill-in if he shows. And we now have 49er, who is my booth partner. How are you, 49er?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Lucky?
Hey, 49er. I'm just about to bounce out because, driver interviews are over. Cortana, yeah. Stop listening.
Good luck tonight. Frozen, I am fine.
Have fun in the booth.
Will do.
Absolutely, always. Yeah, I don't remember what time it was when I was watching the news and closed my eyes, but I do remember that it was 6:55 5 when I opened my eyes and went, oh snap, I gotta go.
I was wondering, you're cutting it close. I'm like, is 49er going to be able to show tonight? But here he is. And just a little fashionably late, but he is here. 49er, I gotta talk about last week though. The race at Homestead saw a lot of great action, and as you know, very little caution. We had 2 cautions. One was for lag, actually, and one was for a legit wreck. But that stirred up some pit strategies, and we saw a group who pitted and a group who did not pit during caution. J-Mac, he had the fastest lap during qualifying, putting him on the pole with a field of close times directly behind him. But as the race developed, several different leaders emerged. Duke got out front after a caution came and he chose not to pit. But several laps later, I think we jinxed him and he made a costly mistake. As we were saying, all he needs to do is just not make a mistake and hold it out. So he lost the lead and Sky emerged as the leader and ultimately captured the win at Homestead. So it was crazy. It was a lot of good racing. Axe ended out with a podium for the top 3, so that made 2 rookies in the top 3. So they did a great job last week.
Absolutely. You know, I've been thinking about this since that race. I had made a comment when, you know, during the interview, actually at the end of the interviews, where I had said that I was glad that the race ended the way that it did, and I didn't want it to come across as, you know, I was happy that the OGs, so to speak, had, you know, to pit or had an accident or you know, something happened and the newbies or the rookies ended up front. I want everybody to be able to race clean and have a great race and everything, but it was not. It's always a welcome change to the norm when the rookies can prove that they belong and can hang with the big boys. So that's what I meant by what I said last week.
Oh, definitely. I mean, these guys, we have a very talented field. So it's great to see them racing against each other and seeing what everyone can do. I mean, everyone just has different abilities and different strategies that they use throughout the race. So it's cool to see how they grow and where they end up in the field and how they go about it. So we see a couple more drivers getting in here. I saw a few leave. I don't know if they lost connection, but hopefully we can get it back in here. And you see J-Mac out there saying hi to everybody. He's one of the drivers tonight. We are going to go ahead and make betting live. So if you want to go ahead and place a bet, I will go ahead and start that. J-Mac is also he is leading this whole thing so far, and I know.
I'm laughing at what J-Mac put.
I know. I saw that. You're rooting against us. Never, never, never. But J-Mac, he's got still about a 50-point lead in front of second place, who is It's Metallica. So J-Mac has 174 points, and second place 123 points, and it goes on down from there. So this guy has a great lead, and I know that tonight is a track that he is known to do great at. So I'm excited to see what he pulls off here. If he can have another great race, I mean, that's just going to pad his point lead over everybody else. So it'll be very interesting to see how he goes about that and what happens. But 49er, who do you think we should be looking out for tonight?
Well, it's funny, I'm reading J-Mac's comment about what I had said, you know, and he knows that I have nothing but respect, the utmost respect for all those guys. But I believe I remember in one of the interviews last week that everyone's going to be looking at J-Mac because he lives for Sonoma and the circuit at Homestead and Watkins Glen. He loves those left and right turn courses, and he's very good at them. So I think he's gonna be the one to watch. I know, you know, we can't leave out obviously Justin and Metallica. I think Skyland's gonna make his presence known, and and Axe, but I'm gonna throw. Let's see, I'm gonna throw one more in the mix, and I'm gonna say we might even see lucky 2115 be up there in the front fighting for this one.
We will see. I'm excited, but I have to tell you, Aries, he's coming in here as a sub, and I'll tell you what, we've done a couple of races with him, and if you guys know him, he is from YouTube. He was out there making setups for NASCAR, so if you followed that game for around 14 and 15, that is the Aries that was making setups and just doing some awesome material. He is here tonight subbing, and he is insanely fast. He is going to be giving J-Mac some competition. I can tell you that. So look for this guy. I have to double check who he's subbing for tonight because we had 2 people missing that were eligible to have him as a sub. So I do have to get who he is subbing for. But man, I'll tell you what, it is going to be definitely interesting to see what he does out there tonight.
And Aries is subbing for...
He will either be subbing for Beyond or Styx.
Right. Okay, because I know I saw the message from Styx that he was going to need a replacement.
I know. As far as lap times go tonight, we are going to see people running 119s to 120s. We have a 34 lap race tonight. So we have a long race that we can get through tonight. So we'll see what they can do. But look for those lap times. We're going to see probably 3 or 4 drivers out in the 119s. The rest, I would say 120s and beyond. So once we get to qualifying, you can make a bet or you can do it now. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. J-Mac just placed a bet on himself. That a guy. Got that confidence going.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong in believing in yourself. Because you have to. You have to. Especially in these cars. And then you got these cars on that track. You have to believe that you will be able to come out victorious, drive the race of your life, so to speak, and do everything you need to do to come out on top. So no, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not betting though, so don't even ask me.
I was gonna ask, but I won't. But I mean, after J-Mac putting that bet out there, I'm pretty confident with my bet tonight. So we'll see. And if you guys know,
you bet who? Oh, look at you.
I did. I bet on J-Mac. I was the first one to lay it out there. So yeah, I got confidence that he will be able to.
Well, you know me. I'm gonna wait till you get ready to close it, and then I'm gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna bet." No, I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Oh my gosh. Let me take a look. You guys are cracking me up.
Yeah, you know, all I know is that, you know, with this track and you know, the drivers that we have, both the vets and the rookies, and you know, I've never seen Aries race, but going by what you say, it's just another intense and exciting plot to the mix to have someone, you know, with apparently a lot of experience to challenge and throw another you know, wrench in the mix. So it's going to be an exciting race. And where else, you know, can you want something like that to happen but at Sonoma? I mean, it's just true. All that asphalt and dirt.
And I don't know if you guys in the audience are in the club, but J-Mac is now officially a Shake and Bake admin, so a huge welcome to him. I'm glad to have him aboard.
It's time to do the 49er horn. 49er horn for J-Mac.
There you go. J-Mac is admin. Gotta love it. Oh jeez. Yes, we should be getting going. Wow, we should be getting going soon. We'll have 3 laps here to qualify, 2.22 miles. So just a little over 2 miles of a track. And these guys have a couple of laps to make sure that they get those fastest lap. As always, you do not want to go past the track boundaries because you will find yourself in the back of the field, which is not where you want to be. This is a track that there's not a lot of places to cut those boundaries, but there's more than you think. So we'll see how they handle it. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I think we're going to see the same amount of cautions as we did last week. Sonoma, a lot of people know this track. There is some tricky parts of the track, so they will have to watch that. But overall, these guys have been practicing a lot, and they know what they're doing. I got faith.
You got to have faith, faith, faith. Ah, you got to have faith, faith, faith.
49er, you need to ready up, sir.
Oh, always waiting on somebody, damn it.
I know. I don't even know if they're waiting on you, but I just saw it, and I saw everyone else ready up, so I figured why not just tell them. Good looking out. Just in case.
Good looking out.
You never know.
Before Justin throws me off under the bus in the driver's lobby. Yeah, that damn 49er, man. We always wait for him. I can't wait to see. I mean, this added addition to the field. I'm excited to see how this race is going to play out. I always love an added challenge to something. You know, it just keeps it from being the same. You know, predictions. You know, it could be anybody's race, and like last week. Anything could happen, so it's no guarantee. Experience is always the best teacher, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
I think they're trying to get Aries fixed in Discord since he is a sub. As soon as we get that fixed up, they will be good to go for qualifying. I missed the last part of what you said, though. So if you asked me a question, 49er, I was not paying attention.
Actually, I asked you about 5 questions.
I know. I got like 2 different things going on here. So what was your question? I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I didn't ask you any questions.
Oh, okay. All right. Man, always playing with me.
It's just because you're so nice and
I'm gullible
and everything, and I didn't want to say that. I was gonna say
you can say it. I'm gullible.
Say a mark or easy, but no, I didn't ask any questions. I was actually talking about, just the added mix of Aries, and apparently he has a reputation and the ability to, and he's a good driver and everything, and but. As obvious as that may or may not be, it's always good to have things change. Like last week, we had some rookies up front. So, and then I ended with, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
And that's true.
No pun intended.
No pun intended, right?
Yes.
And Flow Dog, I wasn't zoning out. I would say. They were talking in Discord, so I was trying to hear what they were saying in case they were feeding me information that I needed to know, because I still have not figured out who Aries is filling in for. They have not told me yet, so I am still waiting on that news, and who Mater is filling in for. They might be waiting until after qualifying, so I'm hoping they will be getting moving on that soon, and then we can find out who is the pole sitter. I'm very interested to see who will it be. Will it be J-Mac Attack, who is just leading this league by 50 plus points? Or will it be maybe Axe? Or will Aries come out here as a sub and get the pole? It should be very cool. This guy is very talented, like we've said a couple of times, but it'll be cool. Skyline also a very, very fast one. But I'm expecting these guys to do a 1 pit stop strategy tonight. We'll see. Things always change, and cautions always throw something out the window, so we'll see what happens.
And you hit the nail on the head. We'd love to see green light racing 100% all the way through. Last week we got lucky. One driver induced caution, and then the second one was a lag induced caution. There's no telling what could happen, and that could screw up anything if even you have 1 or 2 cautions that throw everybody out of whack. So that's a good point.
It's true. It is true. It looks like they have him set up, so everyone is ready to go, so they should be going quite soon. We do have a lot of drivers out tonight. I know that NASCAR 24 Tron fan, he's having issues lately. He has not shown up for the past couple of weeks. There's something wrong with his power brick for his Xbox. So we're just going to call it engine failure. There's a lot of engine failure, though. So hopefully we'll see him back next week. I'm hoping he can get that fixed.
I would call that he needs a new. If he's got no electricity going to his primary unit, then I would call that he needs a new battery, like electric failure.
Yes, that is true. And I gotta tell you, we do have one driver, Hayden, we're waiting for. So he is the one that we're waiting for, and as soon as he gets in here, then we'll be moving. Seems that we are fashionably late every week, but we'll get there. 49er, did you watch the race yesterday at Talladega?
It was at my favorite track, so you know I did.
Heck yeah. All right, I guess
Yes,
we're going without Hayden.
Well, or if he shows up, you know, he can just jump in the back of the field. But yes, I did watch my favorite track, and as usual, it didn't let me down. There was drama all the way through towards the end.
I mean, it's true. There wasn't as much drama as I thought. The last few laps, though, were pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All right, guys, we have these guys out on the field. Like I said, they will be ghosted out. We are on qualifying, so all they really need to do is get those fast lap times. First lap, of course, we'll be getting these guys up to speed. We can make our way around the track. We'll hit it with Justin, who is out front at the moment. You can see just how the track moves and how it goes around. Got a nice, I'll call it a carousel turnaround here. Very, very tight turn up here, and I guarantee if these guys, if somebody hits their brakes differently than somebody else, we might have an incident here. Once we get through this part, it's going to be a couple of S's. That can get pretty tricky if we're going around too wide, so they're gonna have to watch it through here. 49er, question, have you driven this truck before? Because I know you haven't driven with us a lot, but I'm just curious.
I've driven this track a couple of times, both in the IndyCars and in the stock cars, and I mean, you know, I'm not very good at it, but I know that you really have to pay attention to how you go into the turns, how you come out of the turns. I know you had alluded to it earlier about some portions of the track where you could cut the turn, which may cause some issues. So once again, I'm sitting in my chair in the booth with you, safe and sound.
So far, the best lap goes to Axe. He is the rookie of the season, but I'll tell you what, I say it time and time again, this guy has a lot of speed. That was the first lap, so you can't really count that. We'll see what he does this time around. But so far, that is going to be your fastest. Like I said, look out for lap times anywhere from 119 to 120 plus. Some of these guys will be able to hit those 119s, but you gotta be clean about it. If you're not, you will be headed to the back. Definitely don't want to do that, so these guys will make sure that they get those clean lap times. Let's go ahead and take a look at J-Mac Attack, who is the leader of the points for this season. He is back there behind Aries. These guys, like I said, are ghosted out. This turn, very, very sharp turn back here. They extended the track, so the camera view is very different for that. You can no longer see them taking that turn since they extended that piece of the track. Hopefully they will change that in an update or perhaps the next game. Not surprising, Aries. Look at who the best lap goes to, 119.0. This guy is absolutely flying. Comes in here as a sub and just blows that lap time out, man. Absolutely crazy. I want to see everyone's lap time. We have Aries, 119.0. Duke the Rebel with a 119.8. Metallica. I didn't get a chance to catch the rest, but man, I'll tell you what. Gonna be very, very close. I was impressed with Duke having a 119. This guy seems to gain speed every single race, so good for him on that.
Frozen, do you see the paint scheme on Aries' vehicle?
He told me about it, and I'll tell you what. Let's take a good look at this. I'm excited. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful car. DuPont out there. The rainbow paint scheme. I mean, he did a great job on this. And I asked him, like, when did you start this? He goes, well, I just started it tonight. I'm like, are you even going to be racing tonight? And he's like, I'm hoping so. This guy just put this thing together just like that. Absolutely crazy. He did a great job, though. So... yeah, good luck to him tonight, but I'll tell you what, those Rainbow Warriors are giving him some, more... 49er, do you see his lap time? A 118. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I have a feeling that's going... I have a feeling that's going to put him on pole. I told you guys, I warned you, he is fast, and he just proved it right there. Great job to Aries tonight. I hear him out there saying, I'm just happy I beat my lap time in practice. It's crazy. Meanwhile, I'm probably out there, I don't even know what I'd be running, like 127. I don't even know, I'm just guessing. But I'll tell you what. Now, all we need to know is who is going to be racing for who. I have a feeling that whoever Aries is subbing for, they're going to be very happy.
I think so.
Justin, Aries is for who?
That.
Okay. So, Aries will be racing for Beyond, which is what I originally thought, and Mater will be racing for Styx, who could not be here. If you want to get those bets in, get them in now. So like I said, if you want to bet on Aries winning, go ahead and put that bet in for Beyond. That's who he's subbing for. If you want to bet on Mater, go ahead and put your bet on Styx, because that is who he will be subbing for. Get those in now, because I will be shutting it down before the race starts. 34 laps tonight, guys. We will have a pace lap to start and a cool down lap at the end, but it is 34 laps of racing. $49er, do you want to place a bet? Otherwise, I'm going to shut it down.
You can't close that thing fast enough.
Ah, look at Flow Dog. He's putting a bet on Beyond perfectly, which means he's got some faith in our sub tonight of Aries, so we'll see if he can bring it home tonight. Anyone else? If you have a bet, go ahead and put it out. I will give you another 5 seconds, and we will shut down the betting.
A whole 5 seconds? You're too kind.
I know. No rush or anything. No rush. Flo goes, I'm sorry, Sky. Those two go way back. Alright. Betting has stopped. They are getting everything readied up and make sure that all the settings are here that are good to go. We have only 12 racers tonight. This was a field, I believe we should have 16. We only have 2 fill-ins. Unfortunately, Scissors, who could not be here. Let me make sure he's not here, because I don't see him. Yeah, Souza's is not here. He unfortunately has missed so much he cannot even have a sub. So unfortunately, that will hurt him with the point standings, but hopefully he'll be back next week.
Are they still waiting on Hayden, or?
Hayden is in here, I believe. Let me take a look. Hayden is in here, so we just need everyone to ready up and we'll be good to go. Wrong button. All right, let's change the sort here and we'll see who has it. All right, it looks like Aries Aries is the pole sitter. Justin should be in second, Duke the Rebel in third, J-Mac in fourth, Lucky in fifth, Metallica sixth, Stanton Drums in seventh, Axe in eighth, Dion in ninth, Sky in 10th, and let's take a look at the field down below that. 11th would be Modern Fodder, and 12th would be Hayden Salmons, who I do believe he missed qualifying, if I'm correct.
I believe he did.
Those characters are so cringe. Aries is new to this league. Like I said, he is subbing. He is out there on pole. This will go off on his start. So once he says go, these guys have to go. So something new for him. I believe he will do just fine. But his first race here in Shake and Bake. Damage is on, so these guys are really going to have to watch it, especially through the tricky parts of the track. Something that they're going to have to look out for. But it looks like 49er, we are ready to go. Countdown has begun for race 9, season 3. Should be amazing. Let's get these cameras
Getting
set.
down.
Go ahead.
As we're just gonna add on to what you were saying. You know, race 9, we're getting close to, you know. Or actually, all the points matter. They've mattered since race 1, but now, you know, everybody's going to be trying a little harder than they usually were because, you know, I believe you said J-Mac has 50 points. But go ahead with the intros.
All right, on pole we have sub Aries. He is in here for Beyond Perfectly. In second, we have Leaf Justin, who races for Racing A Racing in the number 24 car. Duke the Rebel, he is out there racing for Barbron Chevy in the number 86 car. The J-Mac Attack, who is points leader, he is out there in the number 34 car, racing for Racing A Racing. It's Metallica. He is in second place in points, and he races the number 12 car for SDM Racing. And Stanton Drums, he is out there for Me, Myself, and I Racing in the number 1 car. 49er, go ahead and take it on.
And I'm starting at number
7.
Axe racing for, I had him, Team Slice and Dice in the number 17 car. In 8th place, we have Dion for Dub driving I had him number 42 car for Redline Motorsports. In 9th, we have Lucky 2115, part of that Lucky Tron Racing, driving the number 21. In 10, we have Skyland driving the number 4 car for SDM Racing. In 11th, we have Modder Fodder, who is racing for Styx, part of that BS Racing team. And in 12th, we have Mr. Hayden Salmons driving the number 15, part of that, you know, I love to say it, that Redneck Racing team. And that is our field, Frozen.
That is your field. He said it, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready to get started around this final turn. We will see Aries lead us off. We will get ready to go green for race 9 here at Sonoma. This will be Aries' first race. He will be leading us off 2 wide. And they are off. Aries gets a fantastic start. Justin in second. I see a lot of commotion going on back there. We'll see if they can hold it out. Going in through the first turn, Justin takes it super wide, so they're pretty stacked up behind Aries. Let's take a look. We have J-Mac, who made a huge power move, moving up to second place. Doing a great job. These guys are single file behind him. Duke goes off into the grass. Metallica passes him up. Stanton Drums passes him up. Crazy start, guys, but these guys are doing great.
You know, Frozen, I had a feeling when the race started that me starting off watching the middle of the pack was going to be a good place to be. So I jumped on top of Metallica when he was in 6th. And then after those first 2 turns, and Duke went into the grass, and now he's currently in 4th. But, you know, they need to reel in Aries.
They do. And J-Mac, incredible moves by him at the very start. That guy, I believe he was 4th starting off and made his way all the way up to 2nd, just going through there. So great job to him. If anyone can catch him, J-Mac is the guy to get the job done. He is really fast here, very confident going into this race. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, there goes Justin in the grass.
I see that getting back on track, closing off right in front of Stanton Drums. Very close right there. Metallica off track. These guys getting very loose. I saw another one off. Skyland running in 2nd at the moment. He's got Duke the Rebel directly in front of him. Duke and Stanton have a great race right in front of Sky. Let's see what these guys are doing. Stanton passes him, takes over 5th. Duke in 6th, Sky in 7th. Side by side once again. These guys just going back and forth through this track. Who are you watching, 49er?
I decided I'm still riding with Metallica. He's currently in 3rd. There seems to be a bit of a gap opening up between, there was already a gap between 1st and 2nd, and now there's a little bit of a gap opening between 2nd and 3rd. Obviously the intent for 2nd and 3rd is to try to catch up with 1st. J-Mac is on the move trying to gain some ground, and Metallica making up for maybe a mistake in one of the turns on the last lap, but he's still in the mix. And then I see Justin's in 4th, about 250 feet behind him.
He is, and like you said, there is a gap between 1st and 2nd, but now 2nd and 3rd. An even bigger gap between J-Mac and Metallica. And he's got another guy behind him in 4th, which is Justin. It seems like he is leading a crew behind him. He's got Duke the Rebel behind him in 5th. And if Stanton's still hanging out there in 6th, and Sky still in 7th. Let's take a look at this race, see how close these guys are running. Very tight. And they're really good. I'm impressed with how they're running around that tight hairpin. Very tough. And they're handling it well. This is another part of the track that can be very tricky. You see Sky gets his nose right under Stanton Drums, gives it back. He doesn't want to go anywhere right now, but very tricky. You can hear a lot of talking back and forth between them, 49er. A lot of people are braking earlier than others, and like I said, I called that out before the race started. Braking points. People have different braking points, so the people around them have to take great care and have to pay attention to what they're doing. If you don't and you run into the guy in front of you, you're going to ruin both your days. So it's very tricky. It looks like Stanton might have moved over to let Sky go by. They don't want to mess around in the turns. Sky gets in the grass just a little bit, but gets back on track.
Speaking of being in the grass, I'm riding with J-Mac now, and whoo, man, he was cutting some grass coming off that hill, making that turn in the straightaway before they go through these S-turns, and he was mowing some lawn.
And you know what? He just yelled out in Discord, woo! That was a Dukes of Hazzard moment. These by. Thanks, Frozen. Thanks for calling me out. Still in second. This guy, he's holding on to Aries. Aries has a nice lead, though. He's got about a 250-foot lead going into lap, looks like lap 6. Headed into lap 6. J-Mac is just now crossing the line. He's going to have Metallica behind him. A lot of space going up between these top 3 guys. Very, very close lap times. But I'll tell you what, Aries is just getting away, and he's out here as a sub. We'll see if J-Mac can catch him. Like I said, if anyone can do it, he's the guy to do it.
Yeah, and you don't want to get so focused on, you know what your job is, what your intent is to, if you're in second like J-Mac, you want to gain ground on first place and close the gap. But you don't want to get so focused on that you lose focus on your own race strategy and what you planned on doing. We still have plenty of laps to go. We're only on lap 6 of 36. I'm confident J-Mac can gain some ground. Just needs to focus and not make any mistakes, because that'll just make things even harder.
It's very, very true. Very true. Looks like we have Metallica and Justin right together. These guys racing very close, and Duke the Rebel directly behind these two. So we have our first pack behind the top 2 leaders. These guys, if they can work together, I'm not sure that there's too many spots that they can try to catch these guys. Aries and J-Mac, as long as they stay how they're driving right now, they're just going to keep losing these guys.
If you look at your map, they have a very comfortable lead on the rest of the pack. However, they are coming up on lap traffic as soon as they come off of this next turn and go down the hill. They're going to be coming up on some lap traffic, so hopefully that doesn't play any kind of factor. Hopefully they can get a good part of the track where they can go around.
I'd say they still have a good while. They're already past the start-finish line, and Aries is still coming up. He hasn't even gotten to the start-finish line yet, but I'll tell you what, Sky, Duke, Justin, and Metallica, now we got 4 of these guys directly together. Stan Drum's about 120 feet behind him. Close, but like you said, 1 and 2, these guys are on an island of their own, just running their own race. They don't have anything to worry about at the moment. They just need to run those clean laps and stay competitive with their lap times.
Yeah, I think they're going to be coming up on Mater here in a little bit.
I'm wondering if I do not see Mater. Let's take a look here.
Currently in 12th.
Yep, I don't have Mater. He is not on my screen, so you're going to have to walk us through that one, because he is not on my screen, unfortunately. We're missing a car. Sober David, we have no cautions yet. These guys are doing great right now. Thank you so much for the host, too. I appreciate it. Aries is Aries is a sub and doing great out here. We have the points leader, who's J-Mac Attack, who is currently sitting in second.
How do I have Mater and you don't?
It's just it's just a Forza glitch. It happens sometimes. Where is he at now? I'm very curious where he is on your screen.
Mater is still in 12th place. However, as he goes into the final turn before they come back to the start-finish line, Axe has actually caught him. I believe he's pulling over. Yes, he did. He did a very noble thing, a very professional thing, and he let Axe go by.
Very interesting. I could hear the communication throughout there, and Mater said, yeah, absolutely no problem, and he pulled over for him. In second, J-Mac is about 390 feet behind Aries, moving out in first. Third, we have Metallica, about 900 feet behind J-Mac. I'm curious how J-Mac feels, because he was very confident going into this race that he could win. Now, how does he feel, I'm curious, about Aries coming in here as a sub? I know J-Mac would love, love, love this win. It's only lap 9. Anything can happen, but it's very curious how it goes.
Well, you know, J-Mac, he's a racer, so he's going to do whatever he can to gain ground and win this race. The one thing that he can feel comfortable in knowing is that even if he doesn't win the race, he still has enough of a lead in points, I believe, if I remember correctly what you said earlier, that even finishing in second, it shouldn't do too much damage to his points lead.
Definitely not. No, he'll be sitting fine. He's over 50 points ahead of second place of Metallica, so that is not quite the issue. I'm just thinking more of the issue of just someone who is coming in as a sub and dominating the way he is so far in this race. But J-Mac, he is holding on to it, doing a great job out there. Right now, we are looking at Duke the Rebel, who is currently in 5th. We have Justin directly in front of him about, well, not directly, but he's about 350 feet in front of him. Skylan, who is actually directly behind him, about 76 feet behind. These guys have had a couple of good fights. It looks like Skylan is putting the pressure on him a little bit. We'll see how it handles. Last week, we saw these two racing for the lead. Duke the Rebel out front. Sky was right behind him. Ooh, 2 cars off the track. Metallica, the guy who was in 3rd place, he is off the track. Will that be a caution? Aries just passed the line. This will tell if caution is out. He has slowed his IndyCar down, so caution is out, guys.
So, who do you think is happier about this? And I mean, it's an obvious question. Who do you think didn't want to see this happen?
You know, I know J-Mac is probably happy for a caution. I could be wrong, but that gives him another chance to catch up with Aries. Aries, on the other hand, I'm not sure how excited he is, considering he had a nice little lead going. These other guys, though, everyone is just closing up together. It's another chance to make some moves, but it also is another chance to lose some moves. So we'll see who goes into pit. We're on lap 11 of 36. So we'll see what they do. Will they go into pit or will they stay out? Do we have a race marshal in the chat? The owner is in the chat. They do have a couple of guys that control that throughout the field that are pretty much admins and race marshals, as you would call it. So yeah, they know what's going on. Sky is one of them. So he was going right past that incident, so he went ahead and called that caution. Sober David brings out the race caution counter. That is number 1. Otter33, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast tonight. Aries out there with a lap time of 1:18. Absolutely moving. That guy is just absolutely moving.
All right, here we go. Who's going to go into the pits?
Pit road is closed. They don't have the whole field with them. They're going to pit next time by. They want to give them a chance to catch up. That's probably Metallica, I would assume. No, it's Dion. You have to give me a heads up. Where is Motter? Is he with the group or is he off track somewhere?
Motter is with the group. He is currently in 12th. He is mixed in the field. He is behind 4th place Skylan.
Gotcha. Yeah, he is nowhere to be found on the field. He is on the counter. He's just not in the field. I cannot see him whatsoever. This time around, they will go into pit if they so choose. Pit road will be open. We got Alpha and Lima here, rooting for, and I always say, isn't it Lima? You called him Lima. And I'm over here calling him Lima. You gotta help me out, 49er.
Maybe you should just play it safe. Maybe just play it safe and call him Alpha.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I've been calling him wrong this whole time. It's Lima. Okay. You were right, 49er, which I kind of figured since you were in, you know, military and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I figured you'd have that correct. What do you see?
Oh, he must be... Mater is slowing down and letting the cars that are in front of him go by as we get closer to the start-finish line to see if anybody's going to pit. He's just pulling over to let the drivers that are in front of him, position-wise, get in front of him.
All right.
Because he's still currently in 12th as he got spun out.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Alpha just says I'm used to it. Lucky in the pits. Axe in the pits. Hayden Salmons in the pits. Let's take a look at who stayed out. Aries in the pits. A lot of these guys going in. I'm pretty sure that every single person went in. The only person that stayed out was Duke the Rebel. That is going to be a call I have a feeling he's going to regret. Now let's take a look. Maybe he pitted earlier. Maybe he had some damage. No, he did not pit whatsoever. So he is the only guy that stayed out. Interesting call on his part. I have a feeling that he is a little nervous about that call.
Yeah, I think so.
There is nothing like seeing that you're the only person who has stayed out at a league race like this. You look behind you and it is just empty. That is not a great feeling. So I'm curious how emotionally he's doing with that decision.
Sober David says Duke is living up to his gamer tag.
That's so true, right? Duke out there getting some laps.
It's definitely a rebel move.
Absolutely. Duke is in that number 86 car for Braun Chevy. If I can talk, I'll tell you. Tongue twister right there.
You're getting stuck up on everything. Calling Limas, Limas, and...
I know. I just butcher names. It's just so bad. It's so bad. It looks like the field is caught back up. They will be going this time around. It will be on Duke's call. You see Aries right there behind him. I guarantee you this guy is going to be putting the pressure on Duke. He is going to try to make a clean pass. I know talking to Aries before this, though, he said, you know, I don't want to interfere with anyone's race. I'm here as a sub, so I'm not going to push the issue. So we'll see how he takes on this go. Will he get a great start? Will he kind of hang back and see what they do? But so far, this guy is just on the go. I don't see him hanging back way too much.
Yeah, even though he's a sub, you know, you still drive the way you're known for driving, the way you're used to driving, the way you like to drive. You know, you want to give everybody respect because you're a fill-in, but still, that's not taking away from the fact that you know how to drive. So it's going to be interesting.
And they are off. Green flag run number 2. Aries taking a look, already trying to take a peek, see if he can get through. Falls back just a little bit. J-Mac right next to him. Aries getting a nice run. J-Mac directly behind him. Sky in 4th. Sky making a great move during that caution to get up to 4th place. Aries looking on the outside. Duke gets in the grass. The pressure is on him, and he just lets it go off into the grass. Aries takes over 1st. Duke 2nd. J-Mac looking at him in 3rd. Wow.
Duke put up a fight.
He did. The braking for that, though. J-Mac just completely caught him and he is taking a look on that inside. I thought he was going to take it, but Duke took it back, and he hangs out in 3rd. Going around these curves, you definitely have to watch it. Going single file, that is a smart way to go through this. Very, very close. Sky on the inside taking a look. It's just how it is. Those braking lines, different braking zones for these drivers, so everyone behind around them has to pay attention to what they are doing. Who are you watching, 49er?
I'm riding with J-Mac, currently in third as he's maneuvering these turns and trying to find, I'm sure he's probably trying to find the right time to get past Duke, while Aries is still within sight. Because while these two guys are maneuvering through the track and Duke is fighting off J-Mac, Aries is getting away.
I was just about to say, Aries, man, he is getting away. He got his car out front and off he goes. J-Mac in third, we have Duke in second. J-Mac has to make his way around Duke, but I'll tell you what, Duke has been gaining speed weekly, doing a great job in these races, and his speed is showing. I think Duke's issue is the pressure. He seems to kind of fold under pressure.
Here we go.
Look at this, guys. Look at this.
That.
Just like that. Yeah. J-Mac gets past Duke. Duke goes too low into the grass. J-Mac gets a fantastic run and goes around, making his way to second. Meanwhile, while these two were fighting it out, Aries just getting away about 600 feet in front of second place of J-Mac. Gonna be very, very interesting to see what happens. We're on lap 16 of 36. Let's take a look.
Who's back in third?
I saw that. Well, I see Duke in third. Am I missing somebody?
I have Metallica in third.
All right.
I have Duke, Metallica in third. I have Duke in fourth.
See, I have Metallica in 11th. I swear. I have 10 people. He doesn't even show like on the ticker. Like, what is Forza doing to me tonight? Jeez, oh Pete's.
That's okay, Frozen. I got your back.
So, Aries in first, J-Mac in second. Apparently, Metallica taking over third here. I have Duke in third and Sky in fourth. Fifth is Axe, but I guess you're going to have to move these guys back by one. Metallica's out there sneaking his way into third.
Yep. Aries is in first, J-Max in second, Metallica's in third, Duke is in fourth, Skyland fifth, Axe sixth, Justin seventh. Let's see. Stanton Drums 8th, Lucky 9th, Dion 10th, Hayden 11th, and Motter still in 12th.
I don't even have Motter. We're missing 2 drivers here, folks. We're going to have to rely on 49er to tell us where they are. But so far out here tonight, it's looking like the same as the first run. What do you have, 49er?
I still have Aries in first, J-Mac in second, about 70 or 80 feet behind. Metallica is still currently in third. Skyline is in fourth, about 300 feet behind Metallica. And fifth is still Duke the Rebel. Those are your top 5.
Top 2 are just running away once again, same as the first green run we saw here. They're coming around the pits, going around. They extended the track right here, so we unfortunately cannot watch the cars unless we change the camera view, which I obviously forgot to do just there. But I'll tell you what, Aries has just been doing a great job tonight here as a sub. Beyond will be a very happy guy. We're looking behind Aries, and we see J-Mac back just a little bit, about 250 feet. I'm curious if J-Mac can catch him at all.
I think maybe the caution gave J-Mac a chance to regroup, settle down a little bit, because it doesn't seem like the lead that Aries has now is as big as it was before that first caution.
Well, yeah, definitely. We're only off a couple of laps since caution, so Time is on their hands. It's lap 18 of 36. We are halfway through the race, so they still have a lot of time. The field is definitely getting more spread out. Third on back, they have quite the pack moving along, all the way up to 6. So they have a lot of guys still racing pretty close together. Let's take a look at Stanton Drums. He's in the back of this pack. We have Leaf Justin in 5th place in front of him, about 200 feet. So these guys are running pretty close, but in front of him we have Axe, and they're a little bit different. Axe into the grass. It's going to hold him up just a little bit. Justin gets on his rear a lot more. Axe into the grass once again. Definitely going to hurt him. Trying to stay out there. You have to be very competitive with your time, and you have to stay consistent with it. If you can't stay consistent with it, you're just going to give up those positions. Not what they want to do. Oh, almost a bump between Justin and Axe right there. Different braking points once again, but they held it off and did a great job getting through that. Let's take a look at Sky. Oh, Stanton Drums into the wall right there, right in front of Sky. Man, tough to see for him. That guy was doing a solid job tonight. Tough to watch. Tough to watch. Sky going into the pits. I assume he took damage at some point. Yes. Car very damaged on that. He definitely had to go in for that. Looks like it is still green flag at the moment, though.
Which is awesome job, and an awesome tribute to these guys driving. You know, everybody giving each other room. They know the track. They're making the turns the way they should. You know, you know you can be side by side, but somebody's going to have to give, and everybody's giving each other respect and room. And it's amazing job on their part that we've only had one caution so far. I'm riding with Metallica, still currently in 3rd, and I mean Metallica's gaining ground up until, oh no, he was doing so good. Took that final S turn, went into it, came out of it a little aggressive, and ended up in the grass, and it's thrown him way off. But he was gaining ground on J-Mac, and I still believe J-Mac, he's not losing ground on Aries, but he's not gaining too much, but he hasn't lost a lot. Aries is still within sight.
He is. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with the second run for J-Mac. Doing a great job of keeping up with Aries, and I believe he's caught him just a little bit. We'll see. But so far, he is not letting him out of his sights. J-Mac really wants this. He wants to just make sure, put the nail in the coffin here. Let's just capture this championship. He is ready for it. This would be huge for him. He has not had a championship for IndyCar League, so it would be great for him to do that, and this would be another step closer to just making it happen. So 50-plus point lead. If he can capture this tonight, is pretty much going to nail that up. Let's see what he can do tonight. Can he catch Aries? Doing a great job so far.
Look at the ground that he's making up. He is like laser point focus.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Aries is doing a great job. Like I said, he is a sub tonight. Has not ran in this league. And like I said, these guys are running with damage on. You really have to watch what you're doing. Aries out there with a flying 118 lap. But I'll tell you what, J-Mac is just putting the pressure on. Aries looks behind him, and he's going to see J-Mac knocking on his door. I think we're going to see a fight soon if J-Mac can continue his consistency with this. He's doing a great job out there, taking these turns how he needs to. 49er, I think it's going to be pretty close soon. 22 of 36, guys.
I hadn't even noticed that till you said it, and it brings up, you know, as, oh no, J-Mac spun out a little bit coming down the hill as they're on the straightaway before they hit the S-turns or the chicanes or whatever you want to call them. He had a little bit of a, let's just call it a glitch, but he didn't lose too much ground. Aries is still in his sights. Metallica still holding on to third place, about 750 feet behind J-Mac. But right now, it just seems like it's J-Mac and Aries.
I hate to see that with J-Mac. I saw that happen as you were saying it. Man, tough, tough, tough. He had lost probably about, I don't know, I'd like to say anywhere from 75 to 150 feet just on that one mistake. You can't do that. This is at the point of the race where you don't want to make any mistakes. Aries is very consistent. This guy is running those laps as he needs to. So J-Mac has to be just as consistent. He needs to do better than what Aries is running right now. He's got a lot of pressure on him right now, but he is handling it well besides that one mistake. I'm showing Justin in third. I'll tell you what, earlier I had Axe in third. I know Metallica is in third, so we're going to have to keep our eye on that. But Axe and Justin on my screen just having a fantastic battle, getting really close together. I have a feeling these two will be battling for, I assume, fourth at the moment since Metallica is ghosted out in third.
Leave it to Metallica
my life
to be
interesting.
ghosted during the month of Halloween.
I know, it's so fitting. It's so fitting.
But you are correct. Metallica, as I'll give the rundown. Obviously, we have Aries in first, J-Mac in second, Metallica still currently in third, Justin fourth, Axe is in fifth, Hayden is now in sixth, Duke the Rebel is in seventh, Sky's in eighth, Dion is in ninth, Stanton is in 11th. I'm sorry, Stanton is in 10th. Lucky 2115 is in 11th. And Modder still holding the fort down in 12th.
Look who's in the pits. J-Mac attack. If my screen is showing correctly, he is coming out of the pits. Hopefully a scheduled pit stop. I was not on my screen with him, I'll tell you what, but Aries still out there. On my screen, I would assume Metallica moves up to second, Justin in third, Axe moving up to fourth. Hayden Salmon's had a great run out there in sixth, but very curious as to why J-Mac was headed into the pits.
That's a good question. Like you said, hopefully it was planned. I didn't see him making any mistakes. He didn't hit anything. I don't know what the tire wear was. We can only hope that it was for a good reason. But you are correct. Him going into the pits means that Metallica is currently in second and Justin is in third.
I'm hearing some talk. We have somebody off into turn one. Hopefully everyone got by okay. We see Aries out there in 11th. So, man, my screen is just having all sorts of a hard time. Because now I'm showing him back in first, so this thing is just having a rough go at it. Maybe it's haunted. Who knows?
Who knows? It's that time as Metallica maneuvers around lap car Lucky 2115. Lucky did not obstruct him in any way and let Metallica go by. But as I'm watching and riding with Metallica, I don't even see Aries.
I'll tell you what, he's still on the road. We have Axe and Justin, who just went into pit. These guys, I'm assuming a scheduled pit stop. J-Mac must have had a scheduled pit stop. He obviously will be good to go, hopefully, for the end of the race. Aries, let's take a look. He has 54% fuel. It's not showing me any type of tire wear, so I cannot see the type of wear that he has on those tires. He is not one, from what I was talking. Okay. He is not one to hold on and save tires. He pretty much goes out there and hangs on to it as much as he can. So, let's see how he comes out. Will he get out in enough time? Looks like he will probably get out before J-Mac gets to him, so he will come out as the leader. Let's take a look and watch this as it unfolds. Lap 26. Aries is out on track. I have a feeling we're going to see J-Mac creeping up right behind him, and there he is, right on his tail. Crazy how that works out, man. It's going to be a battle to the end. 26 of 36. This is at the point where J-Mac really has to shine. He has to keep those consistent laps. Do not get in the grass. I mean, he has to be pretty much, I'll say it, he has to be flawless.
Yeah, and you wonder what was going through Aries' mind as he's waiting for the game to get him out back on the track as J-Mac is coming, because he knew Metallica was in the pit with him, so that he knew the only person he had to worry about was J-Mac.
Absolutely. And J-Mac, he was just hoping that Aries would get held up in the pits or coming out, maybe just coming out just a little bit slower, but he came out directly in front of J-Mac, and these two are very, very tight together. Tell me, 49er, where is Metallica?
Well, it just so happens that Metallica came out of the pits right after Aries did, but after J-Mac got by, so Metallica is back in third where he was before he went into the pits.
All right, so that's going to put Duke the Rebel in fourth. This guy, I'll tell you what, getting better and better every single week. This guy is finding more speed, doing a great job. I can't watch Metallica. I wish I could. We see some lap traffic up here. Lucky 21:15. Behind Duke, we have Leaf Justin and X. These guys have been running together all night tonight. Doing a great job. Justin getting into the grass just a tiny bit. Doesn't seem to faze him, though. We have Axe directly behind him. These guys, all four of them, very tight racing. Let's look at Axe in car view. He is in 6th place at the moment. Going through this hairpin turn, these guys, you see all that smoke, rubber burning. Guys putting on the brakes, making sure they don't have any contact with the car in front of them. Very, very tricky. So far, these guys are just single file, 28 of 36. They're going to make something happen. They're going to have to do it in the next few laps. Duke just all over Lucky. Lucky not giving it up. He is racing this as hard as he can. Oh, Lucky. It looked like he might have clipped that wall going through there. Duke dodged that. Gets around Lucky. And off he goes. You see Justin behind him. Let's take a look at Lucky. He just pretty much disappeared. He just fell straight back after that. He's behind that crew, letting them on by. Quite a group, though. These guys so close. I'm going to bring it back from season 1. You could cover them with a blanket. Look at that racing.
She brought it out, folks. She
True.
dusted it off. There it is.
All right, I'm back with the leader, Aries. This guy just dominating tonight. Fantastic race for him. I mean, just coming in. I've talked to him a couple of times, and he just said, you know, I raced on NASCAR for a bit, but I kind of gave that up for a while, and he has been on Forza, just learning the tracks, the ins and outs of them, the boundaries, and where you can get the edge on parts of the track from other guys, and it is showing here tonight. He's doing a great job. Very consistent lap times. Guys pulling out 118s, doing a great job. J-Mac directly behind. Well, I can't say directly. He's about 500 feet back. But I know he really wants this win tonight, and he's doing everything he can to make sure that happens. But we'll see if it is enough. Lap 29 of 36. Can he catch him? Looks like he's fallen back a little bit from when they went into the pits. So we'll see if they can do it.
And that's an excellent observation, Frozen, because where they had, when they went in, you know, when we had the first caution in the restart, J-Mac was still within good range of Aries, but after they both went into that green flag pits, Aries has opened up the lead again, and it's all that J-Mac is doing now is trying to get back up to where he was before.
Absolutely. It is a battle this entire night for him. I know he wants that win. He's still going to try for it. Once we hit lap 33, there are no more cautions, guys. That's it. They have run a fantastic race tonight as far as that goes. One caution. And so a lot of this just depends on how you can run the track. There's no gathering them back up and let's try it again. These guys are running it great, especially through these hairpin turns and the curves and the S's. You can't go through them too wide too much without an incident. And they have proven here tonight why they are in this league. Great job, great racing for these guys.
And I'm wondering what J-Mac is thinking right now as we get close to the end of this race. You know, you never want to give up. You never want to concede the race or any competition that you're in. You never want to concede. You always want to try to win. At the same time, there's got to be a point where he's got to figure, if he were to be in that frame of mind, do I continue to fight to gain on him, or do I focus now on staying in front of everybody else? Because Aries is only a fill-in, so he's only got to race against Aries now, not the rest of the season, unless Aries fills in for somebody else. So he's not really racing against Aries right now. He's racing against everybody else. So I'm wondering what's going through his mind right now. What should he focus on?
I would be very curious to find out what is going through his mind, how he's feeling. For now, we are with Axe, who, if I'm correct, he is running in top 5. He is 5th at the moment.
If you're correct. Let me see.
Help
Yes, Axe is in 5th.
All right. Yeah, I mean, he's doing a great job. He is about 150 feet behind Duke, catching him up in that turn. Man, you go through that turn, it is just tricky. If you can nail it, you can catch up quite a bit, but you gotta hit that entry and the exit just perfect in order to get around it. This is a tough part of the track. I especially struggle right here. There's a lot of times you're gonna see, like we saw earlier, Stanton Drums hitting that wall, going through those turns. It's tough. If you don't hit your entry point just right and brake for it, you're into the wall, and you definitely don't want to do that, especially when damage is on.
And we have an interesting, I don't want to say development, but Aries is, I don't want to say he's having trouble, but he just hasn't found the right time to get past Stanton, which means J-Mac should be gaining some ground.
Interesting. Stanton Drums is calling him out, saying, Aries, if you want to go, just let me know. I will give you the room for it. Aries replies, you're good, man. Still hanging back behind Stanton. He was side by side, but we're in the part of the track, guys, we were just talking about.
Exactly. And it's funny, as you were relaying what the chatter going on in the driver's lobby, and it looked like Stanton was going to let Aries go by, and then Aries said, you're good, and then Stanton said, okay, and shut the door. But now Aries is back in first. He got by him.
And I'll tell you what, look who that allowed to catch up. We have J-Mac directly behind Stanton Drums. That allowed, since those two were battling, that allowed J-Mac to catch up. A little close call between Stanton and J-Mac. Stanton gets into the grass just a little bit. J-Mac gets by, but that might have been what it took to get J-Mac back to Aries. Lap 33 of 36. No more caution, guys. This is it. Can J-Mac make it happen? Can he bring home that victory? Or will Aries take home the win as a sub? Come here and dominate, taking home pole and a win tonight. We'll see what happens. It's coming down to the wire, guys. We have another car between J-Mac and Aries, but Hayden let him on by. I don't know if that was going to hold him up at all, 49er. But they are back in front of each other. So Aries has J-Mac behind him about 120 feet. Crossing the line.
Yes.
Two to go.
The Aries trying to make it around, I believe it was Hayden. And, you know, then telling him, if you want to go, go. And then he didn't go, and he said, you're good. And then he shut the door, and that let J-Mac get closer. But now the gap is, what, 2.5, 250, 300. And we're running out of time.
We are running out of time. This next lap around is the white flag. The white flag is out. We have a nice fight for, I would say, 4th and 5th. Justin and Axe were going at it. Justin managed to pass up Axe for 4th, but these two doing a great job together. I assume Metallic is still out there in 3rd, although we cannot see him.
Yes, Metallica's still in 3rd. I will, let's see, as we come down, Aries is in 1st, J-Mac 2nd, Metallica 3rd, Justin 4th, Axe is in 5th. That's your top 5.
White flag is out, guys. Aries has just crossed the line. Final lap. J-Mac about 300 feet behind him. Can he do anything? Aries has to be mistake-free through this final lap. And so far, I have not seen a single mistake from him. Even racing through people that are lap cars, this guy's done a fantastic job. Same with J-Mac. J-Mac has had very few mistakes, but I don't see him taking home the win tonight. But he has done a fantastic job nonetheless.
Yep. And as precise as J-Mac has been driving, it's those 1 or 2 little things that happen, you know, when he, a few laps ago, when he made that little bit of mistake coming out of one of the turns, and went a little squirrely, and that threw him off. But still an outstanding race for him. And like we said earlier, I'm curious at what his strategy was as we were coming down to like 5 and 6 laps left. What was he focusing on?
Aries coming around this final hairpin turn. Will this sub? Aries comes along, goes past the start-finish line. This guy is your winner here at Sonoma Raceway Grand Prix Circuit. Great job to Aries. Just coming out here, dominating, capturing the pole, capturing the win. Great job for him. You know Beyond is going to be very, very happy. J-Mac pulling up beside him, just giving a congratulations. Gives him a little tap. Great job to both these drivers. J-Mac did a fantastic job. He cannot be unhappy with the way he drove it tonight. J-Mac is a great competitor, and he did a great job again tonight. I assume Metallica took home 3rd. You got to help us out, 49er.
Yes, he did. Metallica took home 3rd, and it looks like Justin was 4th and Axe was 5th.
That are going to be your top 5. Axe taking home a lot of top 5s this season. A rookie driver doing a great job. I know, Alpha, he was so close, so close. On my screen, he got you your top 3. He did. But Metallica actually took that top 3 home. Getting that podium tonight. All right, we're going to call that winner Aries out there. That means Beyond perfectly in 13th. We'll pick him as the winner. All right, once this is over, we will get Aries, J-Mac, and Metallica in the booth for a nice little interview.
That was an awesome, just a totally fantastic and awesome race. One caution with these cars on this track. That's awesome. That's definitely because of how well these guys know this track and how well they drive it. And you know, even as the race was going on, the slower cars moving over eventually, in some cases, letting the faster cars go by, and there were no mishaps. One caution. I didn't see that coming.
You know, I called it. I said I thought we're going to have the same amount of cautions last week, which for me that meant one because the second one did not count. That was lag. But, you know, these guys are really getting to know each other and how they're driving. We have a lot less drivers tonight, so that means a lot less cars to get involved in an incident with. So they did great. You see Aries and J-Mac after the race even did a little bit of competitive racing here, but great job on the one caution. Great job driving.
So, looking at the betting, somebody picked Aries, didn't they?
Flow Dog, I believe, picked him, but I don't know if he put it in wrong. That's why it didn't count. He didn't put the exclamation point. Flow Dog, remind me after the race, and I will give you your points. I didn't catch that. All right. That figures, right? Let me see if I can get... I'm going to get Aries in here. All right. I can see Metallica here. We'll wait for these drivers to get in here. Metallica, I didn't even see you throughout that race. You were completely ghosted. It's like you didn't even exist. But I heard you took home a top 3.
Oh, well. I have a lot I want to get off my chest.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-oh.
All right, we're just waiting for Aries, and
I'll predict about
hopefully they can round him up in here.
This is like the second time that me and 49er will not be together.
I know. I mean, if he wants to, he can give you the interview. Because like I said, I couldn't even see you racing, big fella. You weren't even in there for me. So he can give you the interview if you want. Keep the tradition alive.
You know we got to do our intro.
Aries bringing home the win tonight. Absolutely dominating. You captured pole tonight. Captured the win. Did a great job. Did you think you were going to be able to come in here tonight as a sub and pull that off?
In the league, I mean, it's definitely some special feeling. I never raced with most of these guys, so I was pretty surprised on the whole chemistry these guys had out there. It was great communication through the team chats. And long story short, no, I was not really anticipating much. I have a lot of experience on the track, but not in this league. And I don't really race Indy too much, so it was kind of cool stepping in something new, but it worked out. Team gave me a great car, and I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, fantastic job on the win tonight. I know J-Mac was putting the pressure on you just a little bit several times throughout the night, but once you guys got pulled away, you guys were on your own island out there. Consistent laps ran by you. Caution coming out, did that concern you with pit strategy or if you should even go into pit.
Yeah, it definitely did upset me a little bit, and the reason being is once J-Mac and I had got a substantial lead, crew chief was telling me, hey, yeah, by the way, you guys are this far ahead. I started backing it down and watching my gauges to start seeing if I could start stretching and see if I can earn as many laps as I could without pushing the car too hard. And I had actually an idea. I was going to shoot for about a 17 to 18 lap, and it looked like for a little while that I might have been on pace to do it. And then I heard that caution come out, and it threw it in for a jiffy because it just was going to be a stretch. So at the last second, it was debate whether we should come in or we shouldn't. And I just made the decision, which is based off experience. Let's just go in, and we'll have to ride it out. Luckily, it played off to our advantage.
Absolutely. You made a great call on that. Coming in as leader, I know there's got to be a lot of pressure. Everyone's basing whether they go in based on the leader. So I'm sure that was a concern, but like you said, it paid off. And huge congratulations to you tonight.
Well, thank you very much, and hopefully I'll get a phone call again and get told to drive somebody else's car and do what I can to help.
Absolutely. It's great to have you out here tonight.
Thank you, and congratulations to J-Mac, and I wish him best for his championship run along with Leaf and Metallica.
Absolutely. All right, 49er, do you want to do J-Mac and Metallica? Because we don't want to break you and Metallica up, so...
All right. First off, congrats to Aries on a great race. J-Mac, the man, the myth, the legend. Great race tonight. I need to know, first off, as we asked Aries, the caution, did it throw you off or did it help you?
It kind of fell right into when I was planning on pitting, so it didn't really hurt. It just would have been nice to have to hold on to the track position. So that's the only real thing that kind of threw it, was Duke staying out, and that was just somebody to pass or somebody to kind of in the way, which that could have worked out if it would have messed up Aries, but he was able to clear him so fast, and I struggled. There were a bunch of us struggling with passing today, and it was just this is a hard place to make a move on somebody. So. And then that's the only thing that really gummed it up, because I was planning on coming in at lap 12 anyway. That was the numbers I had for me. So.
Okay. And the green flag stop. I know you, Aries had a considerable gap between himself and you when he went into the pits, and as he was coming out, were you like, come on, give me just a couple more seconds so I can get by you? Were you hoping that you could get by him before he came out of that green flag pit stop?
I mean, I was hoping I could have, but the only way that would have happened is if he would have made a mistake, because, I mean, I'm out there on, those first that lap or two on cold tires is so hard, especially when you've done, 10 laps with the car feeling a certain way, and then you jump out there and it's even slicker than it was. So that, I mean, obviously I was hoping. I was just worried that maybe I'd lost enough time for Metallica to have gotten around me or something, but it worked out, I guess, the way it was supposed to. I don't know.
And my last question, and Frozen and I, we were trying to get inside your head as we were like 6 laps left. Was there ever a point in the race? Obviously, you always want to try to win, but was there ever a point in the race where you said, okay, he's got a good gap on me, so I'm going to keep driving, but now I'm going to keep driving to keep the rest of these guys that I'm going to be racing throughout the rest of the season off my back?
No, I was pushing very, very hard, and I was making a ton of mistakes, especially those last 2 laps. I was trying everything to find some speed there, and yeah, I was digging very, very hard, way too hard, honestly. But yeah, there was never a point where I was thinking about points. I was wanting that deadgum win.
Well, you drove the wheels off that thing, and there was a point in the race where I believe it was like before the first caution, there was a big gap, and then after the caution, then you guys were kind of, you were close enough where you could see him, and then the green flag stopped, he went in and you stayed out, and then the gap just opened up again. And I mean, you drove the wheels off, though. I watched you most of the race, and I know there was a couple of times where you cut the grass a little bit, but still you drove the wheels off. So,
Absolutely.
you could see you were trying really hard, and don't beat yourself up. You drove a hell of a race.
He was just so dang consistent. It was real hard to get to him. That was a very well ran race on his part. I'm not even mad about the race I ran. It just wasn't good enough.
Well, as my game tells me that my controller batteries are low, but I don't need those anyway. Still, great race by you, and congratulations on second place. And how do you feel? I believe, are you a fan of Laguna Seca?
I like Laguna Seca. It's just new in these cars, and I don't know. I guess we'll find out once the leaderboards start getting sorted out over the week. I don't know. Well, I do enjoy that track. That track is fun. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fast parts. The corkscrew is going to be a thing next week. But we were able to get around this place with only one caution, so
I mean, it's true.
who knows?
It's
Maybe
true.
we can.
Yes, but that's just
Maybe we can pull
because
it
of
out.
how good you guys are and how much you know this track, and everybody communicating. Apparently there was a lot of good chatter going on in the driver's lobby. So congrats again, great race. And now I got to What up, Uncle?
You guys kill me.
Okay, so I'm dying to hear what you have to say, Metallica. You said you got something you want to get off your chest.
Basically, this is the third straight week that I've got wrecked by a slower car, and it is really, really annoying. Like, super annoying. Like, Road America, slow cars. Last week, slow cars. This week, someone just braked right in front of me. I had no idea they were going to come to a complete stop and just took me out and screwed Justin. So it just gets really old after a while of a slow car messing
Yep.
you up.
We did notice as we were watching the race, both Frozen and I, we noticed that, as the car started getting more spread out, and as fast as you guys were going, that you were catching up with some of the slower cars. Finding a place to pass, do you think they were in the way on? I mean, I don't want to say on purpose, but was it more trying to find a decent place to pass, or they just wouldn't let you by?
I mean, he said he was like letting me go like after the wreck happened, but he stopped like right in front of me, and I had like no idea he was going to. So I had nowhere to go, and Justin hit me, and that made him lose a bunch of spots under caution, basically. And yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't communication, but it just gets real old with a slow car wrecking you every week.
Well, that seems like it'll be something that you guys will discuss in the coming days leading up to the next race and in the drivers' meetings. In the meantime, you drove a hell of a race. You were another one. You were just like you spent most of the whole race in third place, fighting to catch up with those guys and keep Justin and a couple of others off your back. So, did the caution help you, hurt you, other than the slower cars? Like, what was your strategy going in, and did it work? I mean, obviously you wanted to win, but how do you feel about how you did?
Well, I had no strategy because I hadn't played this game a week until like an hour before the race started. So,
Oh, shit.
but I'm with J-Mac because I was like getting ready to pit like a lap after that, like a lap or two after that. Caution happened, so it didn't affect me any. So yeah, I mean, that was going to pit anyway.
Well, for not
But
having
yeah,
a
I did not
strategy,
expect third.
you for not having a strategy, and you spent almost the whole race in third place. So, damn, I wish I could do that. Laguna Seca, how do you feel?
Well, was the second race? What was the second race?
Second race
Mugello.
was.
Oh, Mugello.
Yeah.
I hate that version of the track, so I thought I was gonna do terrible. I got second. I hate the Indy road course. I thought I was gonna do terrible. I got second. Here, you know, I was third best somehow. So next week I might do good. So I don't know. It should be third to fifth, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure that you'll put a lot of practice in, or maybe you just do like you did
Probably
today.
not.
And some, you know, I've gone to school with people that they know there's a big test coming up, and they don't study for it until like the day before or the night before, and then they get an A or a B, and so you don't practice the whole week until you come out and drive, and then you end up in third. So, like I said, I wish I could do that.
I'm gonna be occupied all week, so I'm not gonna be online any. So.
Oh, well, we might have to change this show into an adult show so you can tell us what you're going to be occupied with.
Oh dear.
Lordy.
Okay, but anyway, great race. I can't wait to see how everything plays out next week. Frozen, take it
That's
away.
it.
I'd also
That's
like to
it
be
for
the
us
I'd also
tonight.
like to be the first to congratulate J-Mac on a championship. So congratulations.
Stop that. You're putting bad juju on me.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. You know, like I said, going into this race, he had a 50-plus point lead. So he will continue that going into the next race. We'll see how he goes, but man, I'll tell you what, J-Mac, you are doing a great job throughout this season. Keeping it consistent, getting those wins, taking podiums, so we'll see what happens for the remainder of the season. 3 more races left. So we're getting down to the wire here. If anyone is going to try to make some moves on those points, it's going to be Metallica, because he's in second currently. So he's got to make some magic happen if he's going to do it. All right,
Can't believe
guys.
there's only 3 races left.
I know, this season has gone crazy. It's gone crazy fast. But that's it for us tonight. Tomorrow night, we will be back on Forza for just a club lobby. It should be a lot of fun. Wednesday night, some trucks in NASCAR. Thursday will be Cup Cars. I hope to see you guys tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Tonight, 49er. It was a blast, as always. So I cannot wait to be here with you next week at Laguna Seca. It should be crazy.
You know, we got to cherish all these moments we have. Frozen, it was great. It's been a great season. I can't believe there's only 3 left. I'm not going to know what to do with myself when it's over.
I know. But IndyCar will be back for another season. You can count on it. It's just a matter of when. Until next week, though, until tomorrow, you guys have a great night, and we will catch you all later.
Peace!